Multiple reports are coming out that the Democrats are indeed facing extinction in rural America, all as yet another Democrat has officially defected over the Republicans. In this video, we're going to take a look at the utter implosion of the Democratic Party in America's exurbs. We're going to see how this is happening to left-wing parties in rural areas throughout Europe as well. And stick with me to the very end of this video and I'll show you how this extinction actually just happened in real time with the latest Democrat defection. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote. So come on into your Patriot Professor's Den, where I help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. If you haven't already done so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And gang, before we begin, let me ask you, what if you could take down local rhinos, Republicans in name only, in your local area without any former experience or political career? How does that sound to you? Well, you know, rhinos are the reason for all the messes we're in right now, and we need to stop complaining about them and start actually doing something to evict them from office. That's what we're doing this Saturday, March 5th. At my virtual rhino hunting boot camp, where I'm going to be joined by some amazing guests. Now, as many of you know, this event it's been sold out for over a week now. And I've got some great news because so many of you have requested to get in after the fact. We decided to go ahead and upgrade our virtual event software to allow for an additional 1,000 more people to join us. So let's do this. You're getting a second chance here. And I mean, this is exciting. So go ahead and click on that link below right now and register for Saturday's virtual conference that you can enjoy from the comfort of your own couch. We've even kept the 90% discount on tickets for you. But remember, the first batch of tickets sold out in just 4 days, so you cannot wait. Click on that link below right now or go to rhinohuntingbootcamp.com, and I can't wait to see you on Saturday. We're going to have an absolutely awesome time learning to crush rhinos once and for all. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. There have been a number of pieces that have come out of late recognizing that the Democratic Party, in many respects, is in danger of going, frankly, extinct in rural America. It's a fascinating development, and one that indicates a massive paradigm shift in our politics. The AP recently highlighted how Democrats, particularly in rural Pennsylvania, have been inclined of late to do everything they can to hide their party affiliation, which involves taking down yard signs, promoting a particular Democratic candidate, or scraping off their pro-Democrat bumper stickers. And this is because it's becoming increasingly, they're recognizing that the hatred of Democrats among rural folk has literally reached unbelievable proportions. In other words, the Democratic brand has become so utterly toxic among rural folk that otherwise loyal Democrats in our nation's exurbs feel the need to hide any public display of their party affiliation. And this toxicity is showing up in the polls. The Morning Consult recently found that upwards of 65% of rural voters view the Democratic Party unfavorably. Only 23% of rural voters believe that the Democrat Party cares about them and their values. And that, of course, is because of the Democrats' love affair with identity politics, which ended up crushing Hillary Clinton back in 2016. If you went to her 2016 website, her campaign website, you would find links on women's issues. You'd find links on, click on African-American issues, Latino issues, LGBT issues, but no link whatsoever to white working class issues. Then you go to Trump's 2016 website, and that's basically all it was. It was a website dedicated to those concerned about bringing manufacturing jobs back home, for those who wanted to secure the border and restore and love and venerate our culture, customs, and traditions. And as a result, the foundational voting constituency for the Democratic Party since the New Deal, since 1932, the foundational voting constituency for the Democratic Party, so technically the white working class rural voter, defected en masse away from the Democrats and embrace the nationalist populist vision of Donald J. Trump. 200 counties in Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Minnesota that had voted Democrat in every single presidential election since the 1980s, often by a 20-point margin, suddenly swung over and voted for Trump, often by a comparable 20-point margin, representing a 40-point swing. That swing was so dramatic, it was so significant that even if Hillary Clinton had gotten the same turnout among blacks as Obama got, she still would have lost the election. And as we saw in Virginia in their election back in November, this political paradigm shift of the rural working class voter away from the Democrats to the Republicans, it's having profound political consequences. The Philadelphia Inquirer recently published a report on exit polling from the Virginia election that found that an astonishing 75% of white women without college degrees voted for the Republican Glenn Youngkin. And not just Youngkin, but of course Winsome Sears for lieutenant governor and their Republican attorney general as well. 75% of white women without college degrees. They are fast becoming recognized as the new political subject. They're in the political driver's seat for elections for the foreseeable future. And just so you know, this is not a phenomenon that's limited to the United States. Of all the voting groups in France for the 2017 presidential election, the working class was the only group that had a voting majority for the patriotic candidate Marine Le Pen. The vast majority of working class voters voted in favor of Brexit back in June of 2016, even though the vast majority of their labor representatives opposed it and then tried to kill it, to thwart it. So this is why Labor's support within the white working class has fallen dramatically to now barely getting 20% of white working class vote. So what this means, if you think it through, particularly in the British context, is that the Tories voters are now more working class than Labor's voters, which was unthinkable as recent as 1995. So what we're getting is a new political divide opening up across the West between the cosmopolitan urban vote, which is very liberal, very globalist and the like on the one hand, and the rural exurban vote, which tends to be, of course, very traditionalist, very nationalist populist on the other. And this gap really does seem to be the new fault lines, as it were, of the new politics of the 21st century. And in a nation that's governed ultimately in terms of our presidential contest by an electoral college, this divide overwhelmingly favors the Republican right. And perhaps this shift towards the political right is why we're seeing so many defections by former Democrats to the Republican Party. And we've got another one, right? We've been keeping track of a number of Democrats switching parties of late over the last several months, and we have yet another one to add to that list. But before we get into that, if you appreciate this channel as your daily fake news antidote, make sure to support us by clicking on that link below and visiting our awesome merch store. We got some brand new shirts to show our solidarity with the Freedom Convoy. We got some awesome Trump shirts and Let's Go Brandon shirts, all kinds of Patriot gear that you're going to absolutely love, and that'll support this channel at the very same time. So make sure to click on that link below or go to store.turleytalks.com. That's store.turleytalks.com, and I can't thank you enough for your support of this channel. All right, so we have a new former Democrat to add to the list of the growing number of defections to the new Patriot-based Republican Party. South Carolina official Harriet Holman has officially announced that she is switching parties, saying that the Democratic Party no longer even comes close to representing who she is in terms of her values. Ms. Holman is a solid conservative. She's a traditionalist, and she no longer feels like she has a home in an increasingly left-wing Democratic Party. And just to make this even sweeter, she's a member of the Dorchester County Council. And with her switch, the Dorchester County now has an entirely GOP council, as well as Republicans in all other elected county offices. It's a total blowout for the Democrats. They've literally been wiped out from this South Carolina county, which further underscores the concerns that Democrats are indeed going extinct in rural America. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on how the new sanctions against Russia are indeed awakening a new political order. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.